Hello everyone, hi, this is Alokojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. In the previous session, we had seen about the important topics for ancient Indian history from the perspective of prelims. In today's session, as you can see on the board, we are quickly going to discuss about the micro listing of the topics that needs to be studied from the medieval Indian history perspective. All these topics are very important from the exam perspective. Here, majorly, I'm throwing light on the aspects of the questions that can be asked in the examination. Okay? So, there are 5 to 6 important topics that you cannot afford to miss at any cost. Okay? So, let's go in today's video with the important topics or micro listing of the important topics of medieval Indian history. First of all, early Islamic invaders. Just study about that. Study about the basics of Islam. Who was Prophet Muhammad? Who are Shias and who are Sunnis? What is the term Caliph? What is Rashidun? And most important aspect during medieval Indian history study, you need to follow the important terminologies. In fact, I would suggest you please make a glossary of the important terminologies. Because UPSC usually has a tendency to ask a question on terminologies. And these terminologies are very, very important from the exam perspective. Okay? So, study about the basics of Islam, 5 fundamental pillars of Islam, such as like unity of God, second, offering namaz or prayer to Allah for 5 times. Then there are different kinds of namaz. That is Zuhar ki namaz, Duhar ki namaz, Maghrib ki namaz, Isha ki namaz, okay, Fajr ki namaz. Then there is a concept called as zakat. Zakat means charity. Then roza. Then comes the concept of Hajj. So 5 fundamental pillars of Islam, just go through it. Then you study about the first Islamic invader of India. And Muhammad bin Qasim was the first Islamic invader of India, and he had fought battle with Dahir, the Hindu dynasty ruler. And as he was the first Islamic invader of the Sindh or India at that time, this has been mentioned in a book called as Fateh-Nama Sindh or Chachnama. So the book Fateh-Nama Sindh or Chachnama is very, very important from the exam perspective. Then the second Islamic invader of India was Mahmud of Ghazni. Now what was the purpose of Mahmud of Ghazni attacking India? Now Mahmud of Ghazni, he only had the intention to plunder India. He never ever had the intention to make India as its home. Okay, so he only had the intention to plunder India, that's it. Apart from this, Mahmud of Ghazni had adopted a strategy. He usually attacked India during the onset of the monsoon. Why? Because he knew one important fact, that the rivers of India are over flooded during the monsoon season. So he attacked before the onset of the monsoon. So study about the 17 important raids. So it is not necessary to study all the 17 raids. Just study the important raids that were conducted by Mahmud of Ghazni. Precisely speaking, Mahmud of Ghazni conducted 17 raids in India. Out of them, the important ones are Battle of Vaihind, then Battle of Thaneshwar, and the most important, the raid on Somnath temple in Gujarat. Okay? Then comes Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori was the third Islamic invader of India. And Muhammad Ghori, he had fought 2 important battles. The first battle was the Battle of Tarain, which was fought in 1191 AD. And the second was Second Battle of Tarain, okay, which was fought in 1192 AD. So in first Battle of Tarain, Prithviraj Chauhan ji emerged victorious. In second Battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori emerged victorious. So study about the first and second Battle of Tarain. After studying the first and second Battle of Tarain, also study about the coins of Muhammad Ghori. UPSC prelims, there can be a question on coins of Muhammad Ghori. In fact, there is depiction of goddess Lakshmi on the coins of Muhammad Ghori. So just go through the coins of Muhammad Ghori. So in the first chapter, you need to focus on the early Islamic invaders. Is that clear? Moving ahead. Chapter 2, Slave Dynasty. Now, Muhammad Ghori, when he was going back to Kabul, he had kept 2 slaves in India to take care of the administration. One was Qutbuddin Aibak, other was Bakhtiyar Khilji. Qutbuddin Aibak focused on the northern part of India so that he could assimilate the administration. On the other hand, Bakhtiyar Khilji was following the policy of Shikan. Shikan means destroyer of temples and spread of Islam. So he had destroyed many universities. Okay, he had destroyed Nalanda University, whose foundation was laid by Kumar Gupta, the Gupta dynasty ruler. Apart from this, he had destroyed Vikramshila University, Odantipur University, and so on. Please also just throw light on whom? Maharaja Prithu. Maharaja Prithu is also referred as savior of Assam, and he had defeated Bakhtiyar Khilji. Okay. Now, after the death of Muhammad Ghori, Qutbuddin Aibak declared himself as independent. And after declaring himself as independent, Qutbuddin Aibak laid the foundation of a dynasty which is referred as slave dynasty, also referred as Mamluk dynasty. Okay. And Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of slave dynasties. So study about Qutbuddin Aibak. Although slave dynasty was founded as a part of Delhi Sultanate, okay, the capital during the time of Qutbuddin Aibak was not Delhi. The capital was Lahore. Then also study everything about Qutbuddin Aibak. Okay, like he died while playing Chaughan. He initiated the construction of Qutub Minar. Okay, then he constructed one of the mosques in Delhi. Okay, apart from this, then study about Iltutmish. Iltutmish, study about the entire thing about Iltutmish. How did he come to power? He was slave as well as son-in-law of whom? Qutbuddin Aibak. Now, as a part of Iltutmish, whenever you are studying all the things, please do not miss two important aspects. One was the Iqta system, other was Turkani-Chahalgani system. Like, what is Iqta system all about? Iqta system is like, specifically, for example, if I am working as a minister or a noble in the court of Iltutmish, rather than giving me salary in cash, I was given a piece of land. And whatever money was accrued in the form of taxes, I will keep my salary, and the excess amount I will return back to the administration. The excess amount that was returned back to the administration was referred as fawazil. I repeat, fawazil. And this entire system is called as Iqta system. The holder of Iqta was referred as Iqtadar, and they were transferable. It was not hereditary. The system was made hereditary by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. So there can be a probable question, who started the Iqta system and who made the Iqta system hereditary? Okay. Then Turkani-Chahalgani system. It was started by Iltutmish. Turkani-Chahalgani system basically means appointing 40 powerful nobles who will assist the king in performance of his duties. Turkani-Chahalgani system. Then study about Razia Sultan. She was the only female ruler not only of slave dynasty but of entire Delhi Sultanate. Apart from this, she followed the policy of appointing non-Turkish into the service. Then, another important ruler, Balban. Study about Balban in quite depth and detail, because Balban followed the policy of what? He followed the policy of blood and iron. He completely reversed the previous policies. Now, he abolished Turkani-Chahalgani system initiated by Iltutmish. Again, a probable question. Who started Chahalgani system or Chalisa system? And who abolished Chalisa system and Chahalgani system? So, started by Iltutmish, abolished by Balban. Okay. Then, he started a Persian festival called as Navroz. He started Sajda and Paibo system. Sajda and Paibo system was later abolished during the time of Shah Jahan. Then, Diwan-e-Arz department. Now, Diwan-e-Arz department, it's a separate military department which was headed by an officer referred as Arz-e-Mumalik. And the credit for creation of Diwan-e-Arz department goes to Balban. So, as a part of slave dynasty, you have to focus on these important rulers. Actually, there are 9 to 10 rulers, but you have to focus on these 4 important ones. Clear? Moving ahead. Khilji dynasty, Jalaluddin Khilji, he laid the foundation of Khilji dynasty. The most important aspect of the entire Khilji dynasty is Alauddin Khilji. Alauddin Khilji's original name was Ali Gurshab, and he followed the same policy that was being followed by Balban. That is, he followed the policy of blood and iron. So study about the expeditions of Alauddin Khilji, precisely his expedition over the region of Gujarat and Malwa, his policy towards the Rajputana, the conquest of Ranthambore fort from Hamir Dev, the Chittor from Raja Rawal Ratan Singh, and this has been depicted in a book called as Padmavat. And the book Padmavat was written by Malik Muhammad Jayasi. It was not written during the time of Alauddin Khilji. I repeat, although the book Padmavat, it narrates the story of Alauddin Khilji, Raja Rawal Ratan Singh, but it was not written down during the time of Khilji. It was written during the time of Sher Shah Suri. It is written in Awadhi language. Okay. Then study about the expeditions of Jalor. The South Indian expeditions of Alauddin Khilji was led by one of his able military commander. His name was Malik Kafur. So study about the expeditions of Malik Kafur, precisely Devgiri or Daulatabad, okay, against Ramchandra Dev, Warangal, Kakatiyas of Warangal, and he defeated Prataprudra Dev. Then Dwar Samudra, the ruler of Dwar Samudra, Veer Ballal III, he was also being defeated, and the Pandyas. Then come with the administrative reforms of Alauddin Khilji. Focus on the market reforms of Alauddin Khilji. Alauddin Khilji had appointed a special officer, also referred as superintendent of market, and he was called as Shahana-e-Mandi. There was a separate intelligence department and spies as well, Barid and Munihan. Then Dag and Chehra system of Alauddin Khilji. Dag means branding of horses, and Chehra, it was to ensure the regular muster roll in the army. Then apart from this, Biswa, it's a land revenue unit measurement that was adopted by Alauddin Khilji. Constructions of Alauddin Khilji are very important. Like who constructed Jamaat Khana Mosque, Mahal Hazar Satoon, Alai Minar, okay, Hauz Khas. Apart from this, Alauddin Khilji had patronized Amir Khusro, who is also called as father of Qawwali. In fact, he was given the title Tuti-e-Hind, Parrot of India. Amir Khusro was given the title Parrot of India. By whom? Alauddin Khilji. So study about that. So these are the important points that you need to study in Khilji dynasty. Moving ahead with Tughlaq dynasty. Tughlaq dynasty was founded by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Correct? But here you need to emphasize more on Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. 5 experiments of Muhammad bin Tughlaq can be asked in chronological order. Arrange the following experiments of Muhammad bin Tughlaq in chronological order. Or what are the 5 important experiments of Muhammad bin Tughlaq? Such as transfer of capital from Delhi to Daulatabad and retransfer of capital. Second, Khorasan expedition, Karachil expedition, introduction of token currency and taxation in the region of Doab. Apart from this, Muhammad bin Tughlaq had also started a separate agriculture department, and that department was referred as Diwan-e-Kohi department. So terminologies are very important, departments are very, very important. Apart from this, also study about Safarnama Rihla or Kitab-ul-Rihla. It was written by Ibn Battuta. And Ibn Battuta was a Moroccan traveler who has stayed in the court of Muhammad bin Tughlaq for 8 years and worked as a Qazi. And whatever he had observed, he had written a book called as Safarnama Rihla or Kitab-ul-Rihla. Okay. Coming to Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Now Muhammad bin Tughlaq was succeeded by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. And Firoz Shah Tughlaq, specifically during his time, there were many departments that were being created. So as I've told you, terminologies are very, very important from the exam perspective. So Diwan-e-Bandagan department, that is slave department. Charity department, that is Diwan-e-Khairat department. Diwan-e-Ishtiyaq, that is pension department. Darul Shifa or Shifa Khana, free hospital service. At that time, it is said that Firoz Shah Tughlaq, for promoting, or for specifically rather than saying promoting, for irrigation practices, he had constructed many canals, and he had constructed 845 canals as per historian Farishta. And the Persian word for canal was Rajwah. Okay, then Hake-Sharb is nothing but irrigation tax. Then he has also promoted horticulture, and more than 1200 gardens were constructed around the region of Delhi by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Got it? Firoz Shah Tughlaq had made the Ikta system hereditary. He brought the Ashokan pillars from Meerut and Topara to Delhi. Is that clear? So study about Firoz Shah Tughlaq in detail. Then Sayyid and Lodi. So just Sayyid, you can just have an overview of the Sayyid, but do not study about the Sayyid in depth and detail, but study about the Lodis, and specifically Sikandar Lodi in detail. Okay, Sikandar Lodi had started a land revenue unit measurement called as Gaj-e-Sikandari. He had written poems on the lifestyle of Delhi Sultanate at that time, and the pen name of the poem was Gul-Rukhi. So a probable question in the examination could be, what is Gul-Rukhi? Okay. Apart from this, he had constructed a city of Agra. Now there can be a question, which among the following rulers of the entire Delhi Sultanate ruled for the longest tenure? So it was Behlol Lodi who ruled for the longest tenure, who was the founder of Lodi dynasty. Okay, he ruled for 38 years, followed by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, who ruled for 37 years, followed by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who ruled for 26 years. Clear? Then administration of Delhi Sultanate, wherein you have to throw light on Sultan, central administration, provincial administration. Like the entire Delhi Sultanate was divided into different provinces. These provinces were referred as Ikta. Now provinces were further divided into districts. These districts were referred as Shik and headed by Shikdar. They were further divided into sub-district, Taluka or Tehsil. And it was referred as Pargana, headed by Amil, and at the grassroots level, village administration. Okay. Then study about the types of land during the Delhi Sultanate. Ikta land, Inam land, and Khalis land. Types of taxes during the Delhi Sultanate. Ushra, Kharaj, Zakat, Jazya, Khum. Like for example, Jazya was a tax that was imposed on non-Muslims. It was a religious tax or a pilgrim tax. Then also go through the Batai system, Lank Batai, Khet Batai, and Ras Batai. And finally, the literature part is very important. Which among the following are the literature of specifically Amir Khusro, who has written Laila Majnu, who has written Nu Safir, who is referred as father of Indology, who is also referred as father of comparative religion. Utbi, Firdausi were the historians patronized by whom? So these kind of questions can be asked. Although they are factual in nature, at least you have to go through it once. Okay, so literature and historians. Apart from this, important construction. Who initiated the construction of Qutub Minar? It was by Qutbuddin Aibak. Who completed the construction of Qutub Minar? It was by Iltutmish. Who repaired the Qutub Minar? It was Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Who constructed the fort of Tughlaqabad? The fort of Adilabad. Adilabad was by, it is located in Telangana, by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Tughlaqabad by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Who constructed the Siri fort? Siri fort was constructed by Alauddin Khilji. Who constructed Hauz-e-Samshi? It was Iltutmish. Qutub Minar was constructed or initiated by whom? Qutbuddin Aibak. And it was dedicated to whom? A Sufi saint, Qutbuddin Bhaktiar Kaki. So go through the important constructions. There can be a probable question. Who constructed Adhai Deen Ka Jhopda at Ajmer? The mosque that was constructed within a span of 2.5 days. Clear? So these are the important aspects that you need to throw light on Delhi Sultanate. Now let's within the next 3 to 4 minutes understand about the Mughals, what you need to study. Mughal rulers, Babur. First of all, throw light on the first battle of Panipat that was fought between Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. And apart from this, as I've told you previously itself, UPSC has a tendency to ask questions on terminologies. So go through Tuluguma technique or Rumi technique once. Because Babur had used Tuluguma technique against whom? Ibrahim Lodi. And this he had learnt in the Battle of Transoxiana or Battle of Saraipul against Saibani Khan. Although he had lost the battle, Babur, but still he had learnt that technique from there. So just go through Tuluguma technique and Rumi technique. Battle of Bayana, which is located near Agra, between Rana Sangaji and Babur. Battle of Khanwa, between Rana Sanga and Babur. Battle of Chanderi, between Babur and Medini Rao. Battle of Ghagra, Muhammad Lodi and Babur. And also go through the Char Bagh system. If somebody asks you who constructed the famous Babri Masjid, many of you will answer it was Babur. No. It was constructed, Babri Masjid was constructed by Mir Baqi. And Mir Baqi was one of the commanders of Babur. Got it? Babur had constructed two mosques. One was constructed at Panipat, other was constructed at Sambhal. Babur had written his own biography, Tuzuke Babri, in Turkish language. So there could be a probable question, who translated that into Persian language? Clear? Then, Humayun, study about Battle of Chausa, Battle of Kannauj or Battle of Biligram, Humayun in exile and death of Humayun and Humayunama. Who has written Humayunama? Humayunama was written by Humayun's sister Gulbadan Begum. During the time of Humayun, there was a political vacuum from the side of Mughals. Why? Reason being, for a span of 15 years, there was another dynasty that was being founded. And that was Sur dynasty established by Farid, also referred as Sher Khan or Sher Shah Suri. Okay. Please read about the fort of Kalinjar this year. Why I'm telling you the fort of Kalinjar? There's a reason behind that. Sher Shah Suri, he had led many expeditions in the North Indian regions of India. Now, Sher Shah Suri, he died while besieging the fort of Kalinjar, which is located in Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh. Now, the fort, there could be a comparative analysis question in the prelims examination about the Gwalior fort and Kalinjar fort. And this year's Republic Day parade's tableau, specifically Madhya Pradesh tableau, depicted the fort of Kalinjar. In the fort of Kalinjar, it also depicted the temple dedicated to Lord Mahadev. So go through the fort of Kalinjar. Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri had come up with different administrative reforms as well. Like he had introduced, like specifically, the peasants won't be taxed on the basis of quantity of the land they held. The peasants would be taxed on the basis of what? On the basis of production, on the basis of quality of the soil. And same thing was adopted in the coming years by Britishers as a part of Rayatwari system. In fact, there is a statement like, the genesis of Rayatwari system goes back to the reforms of Sher Shah Suri. Yes, that's true. So go through that. Apart from this, Sher Shah Suri had introduced the silver rupiah. Then, Sher Shah Suri had constructed the Grand Trunk Road. In fact, at that time, it was called as Sadak-e-Azam. The name Grand Trunk Road was given by Lord Auckland. Okay. Then, apart from this, Sher Shah Suri's administrative reforms. Then go through Akbar. Very important one. In Mains 2025, there is a question on religious syncretism of Akbar. But you can expect questions from the section of Akbar. First of all, understand about the second battle of Panipat that was fought between Akbar and Hemu. Then understand about the few characters like who was Bairam Khan, who was Adam Khan, also as the foster brother of Akbar. Then Mahama Anga, foster mother of Akbar. Then Akbar's policy of conquest of Gujarat. Then Malwa and Gondwana. Like Akbar, when he conquered the region of Gujarat, he constructed a new city called as Fatehpur Sikri, which is approximately 65 to 70 kilometers from Agra. Apart from this, A Buland Darwaza was constructed on the gateway of Fatehpur Sikri to commemorate his victory over the region of Gujarat. And specifically, he conquered the region of Malwa from Baz Bahadur, then Gondwana. Akbar adopted a very different policy towards Rajputs. Okay, he followed the policy of matrimonial alliances. And the first to accept this policy was ruler of Amir, Raja Bharmal. Okay. Do not miss two important battles associated with Rajputana. And everyone knows about these battles. Battle of Haldi Ghati. That was fought in 1576 between the forces of Akbar and Maharana Pratap Ji. And another one is Battle of Dever, which was fought between the forces of Akbar again and Maharana Pratap Ji and his son Amar Singh Ji. So, Battle of Haldi Ghati 1576, go through it. Battle of Dever 1582, go through it. Okay. Then Akbar's religious policy, go through Din-e-Ilahi. What is Din-e-Ilahi all about? What is Ibadat Khana all about? One of the Navratnas in the court of Akbar was Birbal, whose original name was Mahesh Das. He was the first to join Din-e-Ilahi of Akbar. So go through that. What is Din-e-Ilahi all about? What is Ibadat Khana? Akbar had issued Mazharnama. What is that? Then go through the Mansabdari system initiated by the Akbar. Then types of peasants, Khudakasht, Pahikasht and Muzarriyam. Then during the time of Akbar, the land was categorized into 4 parts. Go through that as well. And there could be a direct question, what is Polaj, what is Parauti, what is Chachar, what is Banjar? Polaj means a fertile land. The production on this land is throughout the year. Then Parauti. Parauti, specifically the production on this land is once within an entire year. Chachar, production once within 2 years, and Banjar, it's an infertile land. And on the basis of that, the peasants were being taxed. Then go through Dehsal system and Bandobast system of whom? Akbar. Also go through Zabti system. And then go through the Navratnas in the court of Akbar. Also go through the writings of the different historians such as Abul Fazl and Faizi. Is that clear? I'm going a bit faster because I'm just going for the micro listing of the important topics. Okay. Then go through Jahangir. Painting reached its epitome during the time of Jahangir. And there were many painters who adorned the court of Jahangir. Okay. Who was the first Englishman to visit the court of Jahangir? It was Captain William Hawkins. Who was one of the Englishmen who visited the court of Akbar? It was Ralph Fitch. Okay. Then go through what we say golden chain of justice system that was initiated by Jahangir. Shah Jahan, the golden age of Mughal architecture. Go through all the important buildings and the constructions initiated by Shah Jahan compulsorily. Taj Mahal, Moti Masjid, Lal Killa, Red Fort, everything compulsorily. How did Aurangzeb come to power? Just study about that, and also study about Dara Shuja Murad Baksh as well. Who was Dara Shikoh? Dara Shikoh was one of the sons of Shah Jahan. And although he was follower of Islam, but still he had studied Sanskrit. And many historians do believe that Dara Shikoh had translated more than 50 Upanishads into Persian language under the title Sir-e-Akbar. I repeat, Sir-e-Akbar. So study about whom? Shah Jahan, Dara Shikoh, one of his sons, and then study about Alamgir Aurangzeb. Is that clear? What was the script during the time of Aurangzeb referred as? It was referred as Nastaliq script. These are the important Mughal rulers that you have to study in depth and detail with major emphasis on terminologies, major emphasis on their expeditions, their administration, okay, their administration. Apart from this, the important constructions initiated by them, and specifically the historians during their time. And go through the later, just go through, have an overview of the later Mughal rulers. Another favorite topic of UPSC precisely from medieval Indian history is Bhakti and Sufi movement. Okay. And their are questions on Bhakti and Sufi movement as well. So the Bhakti movement of North India is inspired by the movement in South India. Okay. Now, who are Shaivites and who are Vaishnavites? Shaivites, they are followers of Shaivism, simple words, followers of Lord Shiva or worshippers of Lord Shiva. And Vaishnavites or Vaishnavism is worship of Lord Vishnu, Ram or Krishna. So, Nayanars in South India were what we say worshippers of Lord Shiva. On the other hand, Alwars were worshipper of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Now there are two types of Bhakti saint, Sagun and Nirgun. Sagun who believe that God has forms and attributes like human being. On the other hand, Nirgun believe that God is formless and without any attributes. Okay. So these are the important Bhakti saints that compulsorily you need to go through. I'll give you a very simple example. Ramcharitmanas, it was written by which Bhakti saint? It was written by Tulsidas ji. Who has written Das Bodh? It was written by specifically Ramdas ji, who was also one of the gurus of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ji. The term Harijan, that is people of God, it was coined by whom? It was coined by Gujarati Bhakti saint Narsingh Mehta. Which Bhakti saint is also referred as Maithili Kavi Kokil, that is Vidyapati, a saint from the region of Mithilanchal, Bihar. Okay. The compilation of the Dohas of Kabir are referred as Bijak. So there can be probable questions from these sections. So read about important Bhakti saints such as Kabir, Dadu Dayal, Ramanand, who is considered as the first Bhakti saint of North India, Narsingh Mehta, Nabhadas, Raidas or Ravidas Sen, who was a barber, Sadhana, who was a butcher, Narhari, who was a goldsmith, Dhanna, who was a Jat peasant, Vidyapati, Pipa, who was a Rajput prince, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mirabai, the princess from Sisodia clan, then Eknath ji, Tukaram ji, Ramdas ji, Purandar Das ji, Namdev ji, okay, Surdas, Tulsidas and Shankar Dev. Okay, like Shankar Dev had played a very major role in spreading the Bhakti movement, specifically the Vaishnavism in the region of Assam. So these are the important Bhakti saints. If you want, you can have a screenshot of this. You need to go through them compulsorily. Is that clear? Let's move on to Sufism. Important terminologies like what is Suf, Ruh, Kurbat, Bashara and Beshara. Bashara means those Sufi saints who are bound by Islamic laws. And Beshara means those Sufi saints who are not bound by the Islamic laws. Then what is Dargah? What is Ziyarat? Sama. Sama means musical congregation. The concept of Peer and Murid are the central theme of Sufism. Peer means teacher, Murid means disciple. And there were different silsila such as Chishti silsila, Suharwardi silsila, Qadri silsila, Naqshband silsila and Shatri silsila. A probable question. Nizamuddin Auliya, also referred as Mehboob-e-Illahi, that is beloved of Allah, was a Sufi saint of which silsila? What is the difference between the saints of Sufi silsila, Chishti silsila and Suharwardi silsila? Another important question. So these are the questions that you can expect from Sufism, specifically from terminologies. I repeat, terminologies from Sufism are very, very important. Then Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his administration. Okay, like just understand about the Treaty of Purandar, everything. Apart from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ji, also go through Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj, who is also referred as Chhawa, that is a lion's cub. Then go through what is Shivrai Hone. Then what is the script on the coins of the Marathas. Then go through Ashtapradhan, Prant, that is provinces, Tarf, Mauza, that is villages, revenue system. Go through Chauth and Sardeshmukhi. Like if any kingdom does not want Marathas to attack on them, so compulsorily they had to pay 1/4 of their annual revenue to the Marathas. That is Chauth. An additional 10% levy is called as Sardeshmukhi. So go through Marathas and so on. So these are the important topics that you have to cover specifically from the medieval Indian history. So early Islamic invaders, Delhi Sultanate, Mughals, Marathas, Bhakti movement and Sufi movement are the most important topics. Go through Vijayanagara and Bahamani kingdom and the most important Vijayanagara kingdom. Most important. Apart from this, go through the regional kingdoms specifically of Malwa, Gujarat. Okay, Malwa and Gujarat. Please do not skip these kingdoms. I repeat, Malwa and Gujarat. And go through the kingdom of Kashmir. Like Zain-ul-Abidin. He is also referred as specifically Akbar of Kashmir. So go through that. So these are the important points that you need to throw light on in medieval Indian history. Do not forget to miss the terminologies. In fact, I would suggest you make a glossary of the terminologies. There can be a direct question on the terminologies. Like last year, there was a question, what is Rahat? So there can be a direct question on the terminologies as well. Okay. So in the coming session, I would be coming up with a short strategy on micro listing of the topics for modern Indian history. Is that clear? My friends, the most important aspect, StudyIQIAS has come up with a rank booster sale for the first time, wherein you will get 50% off, flat 50% off. It's not up to 50% off, it's flat 50% off on purchase of any course related to UPSC. The courses are available in English, that is bilingual Hindi plus English. The courses are available in Hindi, and the most important one, the courses are specifically available in English. And this will cater to the needs of the aspirants precisely from southern part of India and northeastern India. So it's a limited period offer. So you won't be getting the sale again for the second time again, correct? So flat 50% off on all the courses. So use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen to get the benefits of these batches. I repeat the code Alok Live. The batches are available for 2027, 2028 and those who are aspiring for prelims in 2026. Is that clear? So with this, I'll stop my words. In the coming sessions, I would be coming up with the micro listing of topics for modern Indian history. Till then, thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.